Tae-hyung looks up, giving him a small smile. Sure, sure. The bathroom is this way. Tae-hyung leads Jungkook toward the bedroom and turns left, just through there. Feel free to use whatever you need, Tae-hyung says, gesturing toward a black wood door. Jungkook pushes it open and the lights turn on automatically, illuminating a master bathroom, lined with grey tile squares and black cabinets. The shower is huge, glass separating it from a large, black bathtub. Jungkook never seen a bathroom so beautiful and sleek. I'll be in the kitchen when you're done, Tae-hyung says, looking up from his phone for a moment to see Jungkook nod. Then he walks back around the corner and Jungkook is left alone. He steps further into the room, closing the door behind him. It's astonishing how much space one person can have. Jungkook strips his old, dirty uniform off of his body. He refuses to turn and see his reflection in the mirror just yet. Instead, he steps into the shower, pulling the glass door closed behind him. He haphazardly scrubs his hair so it's not dripping wet. Then proceeds to tie the towel around his waist, walking over to the sink to spit his toothpaste out and rinse his mouth. Jungkook stands up straight, looking around the floor before spotting his pile of dirty clothes. He can't put those back on, but he doesn't have any of his own clothing yet. He looks to the door. Technically Tae-hyung said that I can use anything I need. Jungkook steps out of the bathroom, a cloud of warm steam floating out into the open bedroom. He can hear Tae-hyung's voice quietly rumbling from the kitchen. He's using the mafia boss voice again, like he did when he confronted Dauntless and Dash. Jungkook's brain feels too much like mush to be able to snoop tonight. He figures that he has more than enough time for spying and listening in on conversations. That night he will be in a comfortable bed, in a safe space and just sleep. The wall beside him has large black wood doors that slide open to reveal rows of Tae-hyung's clothes and shoes. The first closet is full of dress shirts on one side and suits on the other. There's a long display of shiny watches, rings and ties installed between the shirts and suits to separate them. Jungkook walks down to the third door and pulls it open. A line of casual shirts are hung between two black dressers. Jungkook pulls a lilac sweater off the hook and pulls it over his head. The sleeves are a little too long, so he folds the ends back, twice over. Then Jungkook opens a couple of the drawers and pulls out the first pair of sweatpants he can find. He lets the towel drop and steps into the grey sweatpants, also folding the waistband over a couple of times. Tae-hyung is way bigger than Jungkook had thought. Jungkook picks up the towel and wraps it around his hair, letting the towel sit on top of his head. After he feels sufficiently presentable, Jungkook makes his way around the corner and over into the kitchen. Tae-hyung turned off the dining room chandelier and the overhead lights that lead to the bedroom area, so the only light is coming from the kitchen. Tae-hyung is bent over the white marble island, his head resting in his hand. He's listening intently to the other line. Jungkook crosses his arms over his chest as he approaches the island, slipping into one of the black bar chairs. Tae-hyung looks up and Jungkook sees Tae-hyung's hard, stressed expression melt away into a sweet, tired smile. Thank you, Doc. That's all for tonight. Dauntless and I will be around tomorrow, Tae-hyung says, probably interrupting the other person, Doc, and hanging up without a goodbye. Do you feel better? Tae-hyung asks, straightening up. Jungkook nods. Yes, thank you. Tae-hyung's lips turn upward as he recognizes Jungkook apparel. I like your shirt. Jungkook looks down at the lilac sweater and can feel his cheeks heat up. Oh, I hope you don't mind. I don't have my clothes yet, so I borrowed yours. No, you can keep that one. Haven't worn it in age anyway, Taehyung says softly. Jungkook looks up at Taehyung and offers a small smile. Thank you, he says quietly. Taehyung nods. Well, Taehyung says, signs and gestures around. This is my flat. It doesn't have much. But I don't need much. Jungkook looks around at the white marble kitchen and then over his shoulder at the long, light wood of the dining room table. The white brick walls that aren't decorated with modern shelving or bookcases are floor-to-ceiling windows, giving Jungkook a magnificent view of the city across the water. The buildings twinkle in the distance against the violet-black sky. If you want the curtains closed, the remote is in this drawer, Taehyung says, reaching behind him and opening one of the kitchen drawers. Jungkook can see that there is also an organized array of different car keys. Taehyung pulls out a small remote and slides it across the island and Jungkook catches it. The middle button on the top row closes them and the first button opens them, Taehyung says, walking around the island and over to the bedroom opening. It also turns on the TV and fireplace in here. Jungkook jumps down from his seat and timidly follows Taehyung to the bedroom space. Instead of looking to the left where the closet space and master bathroom is, Taehyung points to the right. A navy blue couch faces away from the pair, turned towards a large flat-screen TV that is pushed against the huge windows. A glass coffee table is neatly decorated with an arrangement of magazines and flowers while two individual chairs are sat to the left of it. On the other side is a wall with a beautiful gas fireplace. A few framed pictures and miscellaneous plants decorate the mantel. Jungkook had somehow missed this section of the open space, probably too focused on doing one thing at a time. It's important to take things slowly or else he might have another episode, like in the elevator the day he chose to stay in the red rooms. In fact, Jungkook hadn't realized that Taehyung had been talking the entire time he was taking in the space. He snaps out of his slight reverie, shaking his head slightly to wake himself up. Jungkook asks Taehyung. Taehyung stops and chuckles. I know you're tired. I'll have someone come and get my things so you can get properly settled. Your requested items should be here tomorrow as well. Jungkook takes in a deep breath. Perfect, he says, turning to the bed. Alright. Well, if you need anything, here's this, Taehyung says, handing Jungkook a small device. Jungkook looks at the small electronic device in the palm of his hand and stifles a giggle. Is a pager? Taehyung nods. Yes, it's a one-way numeric modem. It is connected to a select few pagers that I've given to my men, and I have one as well. If you need anything, type 651. If you need me, 118. If you're in trouble, 911. But only serious trouble. Understand? Jungkook grips onto the pager, uneasy at the thought of needing to use 911. Yes. Thank you, Taehyung nods, about to take a step forward to hug Jungkook goodnight, but stops himself. He moves back instead. Sleep well, Jungkook. I'll see you when you wish it. Jungkook looks down at his feet then back up to Taehyung. Taehyung excuses himself and Jungkook watches him walk across the floor to the elevator. As the doors slide open, Jungkook finds himself calling. Taehyung. He turns. I love you. Jungkook manages and Taehyung gives him a shining, lopsided smile. I love you, he says, and the doors close. Good night, beautiful boy.